Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to get into today's topic because we're going on an escalating journey of raw power and serious mechanical ingenuity. Today, we're looking at industrial steel and marine descaling equipment. Why? Well, because rust literally costs the global economy trillions of dollars a year. It's one of nature's most relentless destructive forces. And fighting it? Yeah, that requires a seriously escalating journey of engineering.
I mean, just think about it for a second. How do you actually strip rust off a massive battleship? Or, a giant industrial holding tank? Rust is the absolute ultimate enemy of steel. It's relentless, it's incredibly tough, and there is just no way you can simply wipe it away with a rag. Fighting it takes massive, heavy-duty engineering solutions. We literally have to tear the decay off the metal just to save the structure beneath it. And that exact battle plan is what we're going to explore today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our progression map. We'll start at level 1 with human power, step it up to level 2 with the air cavalry, and then hit level 3 with the grinders. From there, we move into level 4, massive deck machines, before we finally reach the absolute peak of industrial force at level 5, the atomizers.
But before we bring out the heavy artillery, we really need to understand the golden rule of rust removal. You absolutely must match the equipment to the scale of the job and the specific geometry of the steel. Now, you might naturally be wondering, well, why not just use the biggest tool right out of the gate? Well, if you use a massive industrial water blaster on a tiny, delicate valve, you're going to completely destroy it. On the flip side, if you try to use a handheld scraper on an entire ship's deck, you would literally be scraping for a decade. Choosing the right tool is a very precise calculation of geometry and scale. So, let's begin our ascent right at level 1, human power, looking specifically at manual hand tool prep. Right, so before any power equipment even comes onto the scene, hand tools are absolutely essential. They're used for knocking loose the heaviest debris and basically testing the core integrity of the steel. Take the chipping hammer, for example. You can think of it like a relatable miniature pickaxe made of solid steel. You literally swing this thing by hand to physically fracture and knock off those thick, blistering scabs of stratified rust. And then we have hand scrapers. These are rigid, heavy-duty steel blades that you push by hand to scrape away loose paint flakes and highly degraded surface rust. Sure, it's hard manual work, but it reveals exactly what our power tools are going to need to tackle next.
Which brings us right up to level 2, the air cavalry, featuring pneumatic impact and precision tools.
So now we're ditching the hand swinging. Instead, we're harnessing compressed air to introduce some incredibly rapid mechanical shattering force right to the steel. And this is where the engineering gets really clever. Look at the mechanics of the pneumatic needle scaler, which is often known out in the field by the brand name Jet Chisel. First, compressed air drives the mechanism, pushing a bundle of fine, independent steel needles back and forth, pulsing literally thousands of times per minute. Because these needles move entirely independently of one another, they instantly conform to whatever uneven surface they hit. They just shatter that brittle rust right off the healthy steel underneath. That sensory, buzzing, independent movement is exactly why this is the absolute best tool for cleaning tight corners, deep pits, and around those really tricky bolt heads. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast in applications. The needle scaler, with all those fine, independent needles, is for sure your go-to precision tool for all the uneven surfaces we just talked about. But compare that to the piston scaler. Instead of needles, it uses heavy, solid steel or carbide pistons to deliver incredibly punishing blows. I mean, if you tried to use a flat, heavy piston scaler on a tight bolt head, no way. You wouldn't clean it, you'd probably just destroy the bolt entirely or miss the rust completely. Piston scalers are strictly meant to aggressively hammer thick scale off of flat, horizontal, or vertical bulkheads, definitely not for navigating tight geometry.
Keeping that momentum going, we hit level 3, the grinders. This is our rotary and electrical machinery.
All right, so now we're transitioning away from the impact hammering of pneumatic tools and stepping up to motorized tools that rapidly spin, grind, and literally beat the rust away. Check out the flexible shaft scaling machine. This thing is a brilliant ergonomic solution to a very heavy problem. It actually separates a heavy-duty electric motor, which just rests securely on the deck, from the handpiece itself. It uses this thick, inner metal cable housed inside a flexible casing to transfer all that spinning power. This means the operator can navigate tight spaces around pipes with incredibly high torque without suffering extreme arm fatigue from lugging around a heavy motor. We've also got standard angle grinders equipped with wire cut brushes for lighter rust or aggressive flap discs, which are basically layered sandpaper to really aggressively grind the metal for precision smoothing and blending. All right, let's scale this way up. Level 4, massive debt clearing machines, also known as the heavy rollers. Because what happens when the geometry completely changes? What if you have to descale a massive, flat, horizontal area, like a giant ship's deck or a huge industrial tank floor? Handheld tools are just entirely too slow for that kind of scale. We have to escalate to machines that look and act like heavy, modified lawnmowers designed specifically to chew through solid steel. Just look at the walk-behind rotary deck scaler. A heavy motor spins a horizontal drum underneath the machine, and attached to that drum are hardened steel chain flails or toothed cutting wheels. As you push this beast forward, these heavy metal attachments violently whip and beat the deck, completely pulverizing the rust. The raw destructive power here is just phenomenal. It's meant to tear away heavy marine growth and thick scale from large steel plates with terrifying efficiency. And then we have the walk-behind shot blasting machine. Walk through this absolutely brilliant engineering with me for a second. Inside, an enclosed wheel spins at massive speeds, centrifugally throwing thousands of tiny steel balls, which we call steel shot, straight down against the deck. Instantly, a massive vacuum kicks in and sucks up both the pulverized rust and the steel shot. The machine then literally separates the debris inside and recycles the steel shot right back into the blast wheel. It's a closed loop. It preps massive decks rapidly, leaving a perfectly clean, textured path of bare metal in a single pass. And the best part? It amazingly does all of this without creating any of those dangerous airborne dust clouds. And finally, we reach the ultimate escalation of power. Level 5, the atomizers, focusing on industrial and hydroblasting. When the steel absolutely must be completely stripped down to bare white metal so that brand new industrial coatings can adhere properly, this is the heavy artillery we deploy. And this brilliantly illustrates the microscopic science of abrasive blasting, what you probably know as sandblasting. High-volume compressed air forces abrasive grit, like crushed glass or coal slag, through a specialized nozzle at extreme, blistering velocities. It removes 100% of the rust, but more importantly, it etches an anchor profile right into the steel. That's a microscopic, rough surface that gives heavy-duty epoxy paints something highly textured to literally bite into, making sure they stick permanently to the newly restored metal. 40,000 psi. I really want you to let that massive statistic sink in for a moment. That is the jaw-dropping pressure used in ultra-high-pressure hydroblasting, or water jetting. Instead of using abrasive grit, this system blasts away rust and scale using nothing but sheer, raw water pressure. So why use water? Well, it's absolutely essential for environments where abrasive dust becomes a major explosion hazard, or where flying grit would just destroy nearby sensitive machinery. Plus, this massive water pressure doesn't just strip away the rust, it simultaneously washes away all those invisible, highly corrosive salt deposits that get deeply embedded in the steel. So we have 40,000 psi water jets. We have high-speed recycling steel shot vacuums and rapid-fire pneumatic needle scalers. We throw absolutely incredible feats of modern engineering at this problem. But after looking at all this immense power, it leaves us with a pretty provocative question, doesn't it? Will rust eventually win the war? No matter how massive and powerful our tools get, we are locked in this perpetual, escalating battle between human engineering and nature's relentless drive to consume steel and return it right back to the earth. It is such a fascinating conflict. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep asking the big questions.